Hey guys, I'm back and I'm going to be starting a series on modding Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. And in this first episode, we're going to be talking about how to make troop trees. So let's go ahead and get started. What we want to do first is we want to go into our Bannerlord directory. Let's go to your program files, go to Steam, go to Steam apps, go to common, then you go into Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. Where you want to go from here is then go into your modules folder. Move this up here so y'all can see it a little bit better. And then once you go into your modules folder, you then want to go into Sandbox Core. You then want to go into module data. And right here, this SP NPC characters XML, this is where all your troops will be located. You need to edit this file to add new troop trees to the game. You could either go in here and open this, let's see, okay, it automatically goes to Visual Studio. But you don't have to go to Visual Studio. You can, let's see, open with, you can just open it if you want to with Notepad. You could do it this way. And you can, this is perfectly fine. You can come in here and edit it like this. But the easiest way to do it for me is to open it, download Microsoft Visual Studio. When you open it with Microsoft Visual Studio, it has some tools that will make it a whole lot easier to see what's going on. You can count your lines. You can scroll down. There's a little, notice this little green arrow down here in the bottom. This tells you if there's any issues with your XML. If you do some kind of typo, some kind of syntax error, it'll let you know right here. This is a wonderful tool for all kinds of coding and XML editing. So now that we're actually inside the SP, I guess that means single player NPC characters XML, what you want to do is find your actual troop trees. And there's a whole bunch of different NPC character IDs in here. And what you want to do is, I think right around let's see, where we're at. Okay, we're getting close. I've edited this XML already, so it's not going to be exactly the same as your native one that has not been touched, but somewhere about right. Let's see, getting close now. Okay, you'll get down about right here. It'll once you scroll about this far down into the XML, you'll get this part where it says region empire troops, and this is the start of all your just regular basic troop trees. And this, it starts out, the main thing when you're editing XML is this format is extremely important. One little extra parentheses, one little thing left out, one little thing deleted, anything, one little typo can cause your entire game to crash. So you don't want to have any, you want to make sure you're extremely careful when you edit into this stuff. And pretty much it starts right here with this little, I don't know what it's called, but it's this little arrow back. This starts it. So from right here all the way down to, it starts out NPC character, and then it'll always end down here where it says the same little arrow with a backslash NPC character. So everything I got highlighted right here is the code, the XML, code, or whatever you call it. Unless you can't tell already, I'm not an expert on this. I'm kind of self-taught, so I'm sure all this stuff has names that I just don't know. But I know enough to, pretty much change a whole lot of stuff in the game. So I'm going to try to share it with you. But anyway, everything you see I got highlighted right here. It starts out with NPC character ID Horseman, and it goes all the way down to right here. This is all the code for just this one troop. And this is a horseman. His group is cavalry. He's level 11. This right here, this name, this is the actual text. It'll show up for this ID in the game as horseman. Occupations, townfolk, his culture, his empire. Here's his stats. And then once you get down here to equipments, you'll have the same type of format. You'll have the equipment, then it'll go down right here to this little arrow thing, backslash equipments. All these are the equipment sets. So he actually has these equipment. This is his first equipment roster, second equipment roster. Then he has some civilian equipment roster here at the end. So what this little segment of code right here is telling you is that half the time this horseman will have these pieces of equipment, and half the time they'll have these pieces of equipment. And then when he's in a town or village or anything, he'll have this civilian troop, this little equipment set right here. So that's just a basic little rundown of what a troop looks like. So that's where you find it in the native XMLs. If you wanted to change any kind of piece of equipment, what you would have to do is, I'll show you. We'll get out here for a second. If you wanted to change any kind of equipment, say you just want to change the weapon on any native troop, you would come in here to this SP items folder and click into this weapons XML. Say I want to take away this guy's torch and give him, let's just go randomly down here, and give him a falchion. I would take this ID right here, this falchion _ sword _ T2. I'd take this right here. This is the ID. This is important, your IDs. You would copy this, then you'd go in here to the SP NPC characters XML, and then you'd go in here to the slot that has his weapon, and then you would replace it right here. You'd go in here just like that. Pay very close attention to all the, not to delete this little period or not to delete a parentheses, and you just paste this in right here. So now, say if I was to save it like this, now this horseman would, whenever he spawns, half the time he'd have a falchion sword, and the other half the time he'd have an empire sword. If I don't want him to have this empire sword, I could either take this same falchion sword and type it into here, or paste it into here. You can do it this way, paste it in right there, and that'll be the only weapon they ever have in the game. Or you could also say you don't care about these other pieces of different equipment. Say he's got different. If you look at this, he's got a bound horseman's shield right here, and he has a strap round shield right here. He has a helmet right here, and he doesn't even have a helmet right here for head. So say if you want all your troops to just have this equipment set on every single time, you can come in here and just completely delete out this whole equipment roster right here. As long as you don't take anything away, as long as you make sure you're very precise in what you delete, I can come in here and just go delete the I guess I can just cut. I just cut it out. It's gone now. And you notice that there's no issues found with the XML. I didn't make any mistakes. Now if I was to save, this horseman from now on would only have this equipment on, and he would only have this sword. So that's just a brief introduction, how this XML is set up. We're going to go ahead and get out of here without saving. Don't save. I don't want to save. Let's go ahead and get out of here. And we're going to add, I'm going to go ahead and make a troop tree real fast for you. We're going to go into my module. We'll go over modules later, but I have my own little ROT content module for my mod. We'll go in here and go into my module data, and we'll go in here to my troops. And, this is pretty much the exact same format. We'll go in here and check it out. See, it's the same format. I got my NPC characters. There's my NPC character, ID, and it starts out with my free folk recruit. What I want to add is, we'll scroll all the way down here to the bottom. Currently in my mod, I've just created a free house. It's kind of like a Bolton Frey type troop tree. It'll be all the way at the bottom. So this is the last one. This is the last one I created. Okay, it starts right. Let's say car starting still. And the way I know this is by my culture. It's a Bolton culture. So we'll go to where they start. Okay, that's a level. We're getting close. Okay, here's my free houses recruit. This is my level 6. This is my very, my lowest level recruit right here. And it's a basic. It is a basic troop, and it says true. So this is it. This is my Bolton troop tree right here. What I don't have is an elite troop tree. So in order to add me an elite troop tree, what I want to do is, your best friends with these XMLs is to always just look back and use what you've already done. So I know right here for my Unsullied, I already have an elite troop tree. So I want to go ahead and go up here and find my let's see. Okay, we're just going to go up here and try to find it first. Go to the top. Somewhere in here I got my elite. As you see, there's a lot of code involved in making troops, but it's really easy. In the format, you don't have to know any kind of coding languages or anything. You just need to just notice the format and repeat it. If you get anything from this video, just look at the way the format everything is, and just repeat it. So and, to the T, no mistakes at all. So we're getting close to the. Here we go. When we get to the top of my Giscari troop tree, which I've already created an elite and noble troop line for, I have my Giscari recruit right here, level 6, and it's my just a regular basic Giscari recruit. And then we have my Giscari noble recruit. So what I want to do is I want to copy this. So let's go ahead and copy all the code. Remember, start with your little backwards arrow, just whatever it is. I need to figure out what this is called, but you start right here with this, and let's just copy all the code for this one troop all the way to the /NPC character right here. We'll just copy that. We'll take this, and let's go ahead and go on down to the very end of my XML. You don't want to put, when you paste stuff in here, everything's got to be bracketed. This is the end of my XML and the end of my NPC characters. So I want to stick it in this little slot right here. So I can go in here and just put me some space in here. I like to leave a space between my troops. And we'll go ahead and paste this guy right here. Okay, so it's in here. The template that I'm going to use to make my lowest level troop for my Bolton elite troop tree is right here. But I need to, first of all, I need to give it an ID. So we're going to go ahead and just call this, since we've called this thing pretty much Bolton. Well, I think we're calling it free houses. So let's call it free houses. Free houses noble recruit. He's going to be an infantry. The elite troop tree, the lowest level starts at level 11. And let's call this free. This is under the name. This is what's going to show up in the game for this troop. So I mean, you could name the ID whatever you want it to, but when it comes down here to the name and these little brackets, this is what's actually going to be shown for the text for the actual name of the troop. So you can name this whatever you want right here. It don't have to match your ID, but it's useful to have something similar so you can, it's easy to identify later down the line. But we're going to just call this the free houses noble recruit. Well, let's call it something different. This is Game of Thrones, so we'll call this Free House's noble son, maybe. Let's call it the Free House's noble son. He's going to be a soldier, basic troop, yes. Culture, He's not Giscari. We want to call him the same as our other one, which is Bolton. Is the name of our culture for this one. Face key template. I have the body properties as an Azari. I don't want him to look like an Azari because this is a Westerosi. This is a Westerosi guy, so I'll probably want him since. Let's go up to the top and let's just pick one of these. Let's go back to our free folk. I'd rather him look like free folk. So let's do, for face key template value, let's do body properties fighter Sturgia. I think that'll match a little bit better. Let's copy that. Go back down to where we was at. Body properties fighter Azari. So let's go ahead and paste this in here. Okay, now he'll look like a Sturgian, like he'll have the face and skin color and everything, hair color and everything of like a Sturgian. Now let's look at his stats real fast. Since this template was for, let's see, we'll kind of stick about the same. Let's give him a little bit less athletics because the other guy was going to become unsullied. So let's give this guy athletics of 40. We'll leave the riding at 50. One-handed. Let's take it down to 50. Two-handed, we'll leave 50. Pole arms 50. The bow 30. Crossbow. Let's go up a little bit on the bow. Why not? He's not gonna have a bow, so it don't matter. Let's go a little bit up on the crossbow. Let's just do 20 here. And we'll leave throwing at 30. Another important part to making troops, if this was a standalone troop, I could come in here and right here under upgrade targets, I can completely just delete this out. If I just take that and delete that, this will be a standalone troop. By itself, you know, there'd be no upgrade path. There'd never be a way to get him to level up at all. So this is what the next troop, when you level this guy, will turn into. So if I left it the way it was, this troop, since he's different, you know, since he's in the game now, when he leveled up, he would just automatically turn into a Giscari Unsullied Initiate. And we don't want that to happen. So just for the time being, let's just delete this out, just so I can show you, you know, let's go ahead and just delete this for now. We'll add something back later. Let's just delete that out like that. We're not going to mess with any of his equipment. Let's just leave this equipment in there for right now. Just preview to you. This is really all you have to do to add a troop to the game. Equipment set. He's still got a Sturgian troop civilian template. So there you go. Freehouse's noble recruit. Freehouse's noble son. All you gotta do. Let's go ahead and just save this right now. Save ROT troops. What we're gonna do now is let's just go ahead and go into Bannerlord. Okay, now that I've loaded a save, I'm actually in Bannerlord. Now what we need to do is we went into that XML, we added another troop, NPC character IDs, and everything. We added a new troop into the game. So what we need to do is let's go to our troops and let's see if it's in here now. Before there was no Bolton or no Free Houses Elite. So let's go. We're almost there. Okay, so here's our regular troop tree, our regular Free Houses recruit. It's finished and complete. And if you go right down here, there you go. Remember what we called it? Free Houses Noble Son. Here he is. We have our Free Houses Noble Son. Remember when we deleted out the upgrade targets? So there's really no troop tree made now, but this troop is in the game. So you know, he's got the same equipment as another one of our troops because we didn't change it around. All we did was change his face. Notice his face, he's got red hair and pasty skin like a Sturgian, but the exact same equipment as a Giscari. Let's go down here and find our Giscari. I think it was called our Giscari, we'll find him out here, former slave. See him? He's got the exact same equipment as the Giscari former slave, but instead of having an Azrai face, he has a Sturgian face. And instead of, you know, this guy being able to upgrade into Unsullieds, you know, he our Free Houses guy has no upgrade target because we deleted out the upgrade target. So that was just a quick introduction to how you add troops to Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. We're gonna make more videos getting even more deeper into this, you know, at a future date. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little introduction to one of the most basic things when it comes to modding Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back with another tutorial soon.